Hello, my YouTube world. This is Johnny Moe coming to you with Solo and Proud, episode 2 on the Turf Care series. So, first of all, I want to answer a question. I want to recommend a channel right out of the gate. I got a chance to take a look. Someone put in my comments of the last video of a great channel. His name is Grass Factor. Go check him out. He does an excellent job explaining the scientific side of this business, and I just highly recommend. I've watched a couple of his videos, and I'm telling you, he's a great dude. Seems like he really knows what he's talking about, and he even did one of the products that I actually use, which is Dismiss, which is I use it to kill nutsedge. And I tell you what, I used it for the first time last year. I usually use Sedgehammer, but Dismiss at my warehouse that I go to get my products, Dismiss was cheaper. I used it, very happy with it, killed the nutsedge, no issues with Dismiss at all. And he actually did a little breakdown on it. I thought it was good, kept me interested. And to me, if you want to learn about the scientific side, that's the place to go to. For me, it's about using a select chemicals that I like to use, which I'm going to name in this video, and just using those chemicals, going to my warehouse, not relying on salesmen, because salesmen will sell you everything and anything just to make more money. They'll sell you a $225 bottle of whatever it is, and you don't need it. The chemicals that I use, again, go subscribe to Grass Factor. Awesome channel, scientific side of this business. He has it nailed, and I appreciate everything he's doing. Great channel. Go check it out. Now, as far as becoming a licensed technician, everyone has asked me this question. I'm going to go over briefly. In the state of Pennsylvania, what you're going to do is you're going to call the agricultural department, and you're going to ask, how do I go about getting the material to study for the agricultural pesticides test? And they will give you a contact to the Penn State office, and you will get a packet, a manual, a bunch of packets. There's about 15 to 20 packets in here, and this will help you take the applicator's test. You will call back the applicator. After you get the products in, I can't remember, it's 150 or 300 bucks for all these textbooks. You will call back the agriculture department when you feel confident, you know the material, and you're ready to take the test. They will give you a test site and a test date. There'll probably be multiple sites and multiple tests, and you can go there and take it. There's a core side, which is health and safety, and then there's a category. We have a lot of categories in Pennsylvania. I'm category 7, so I took a category 7 test. The test is hard, and the category 7 side of it was open book. But there's like 11 manuals here, and it's hard to open and try to find. I mean, just this alone right here, it's a thick manual. Just to find everything you need to, and here's another manual. I mean, just to try to find everything that you need to find in that little manual, it's going to be very difficult to do. So if you're relying on the open book part of it, you're going to be sorely displeased, because it's going to be hard with the time limit they give you to figure out where everything's at. So it's better for you to have studied, looked it over, and able. I passed. I've taken this test 3 times. I took it in 97, and I passed the core side, failed the category 7 side because I didn't study. I took it 2 weeks later, passed the category 7. Years later, when I was on my own full time, I didn't have any fertilizing customers because I got my license because I worked for a company. I ended up letting the license slip. So I had to retake the test. I took it 1 time, aced it. I'm pretty sure I got 100% on it. So it's possible to pass the test. And they do have different tests, so it's not like you can go ask your buddy, hey, you took the category, what's on it? They have like 3 different exams, so I do know that. Having said all that, after you do that, you will get a letter in the mail, or you can call and they'll give you your license number and everything. They'll come in the mail. You have to pay some fees. And then every 3 years, you got to sit through the most boringest classes ever to get you need 16 credits, 6 core and 10 category. Mine would be category 7. So you have to sit through very boring classes and basically fall asleep all day, or almost get put to sleep, because you have to sit and get these credits. I absolutely hate that part of the business. I really only care about a few different chemicals. It's very basic, and I try to keep everything very simple here. Very simplistic things that I do to run the turf side of this. Easy equipment, basic stuff, use the basic chemicals, and that's it. So we're going to go over what chemicals I use. The chemicals that I use in this particular side of the business is for weed control and problematic grasses are very simple. I use Dismiss or Sedgehammer for nut sedge. I use crabgrass. For crabgrass, I use quincloric or Drive. I prefer Drive. I have used quincloric. It's a generic version of Drive. The problem with quincloric is the main ingredient in Drive. The problem with quincloric is it comes in a little pellet powder form. So when you mix it, it doesn't all seem to mix very well. And if you had an agitator in the bottom, because I only mix it in a little 1 gallon thing, if you had a little agitator in the bottom, I'm sure that agitator would help that situation, but it seems to settle and gets hard. It makes a white paste and clogs the spreader up. And I just never had good success with it. Sometimes it would kill the crabgrass, sometimes it wouldn't. Drive kills it every time. It comes in a little bottle about this big. It comes brown, liquid, ready to mix. Perfect product. 100% recommend it. It is very expensive, though. I will tell you. Excuse me. Very expensive. Very, very expensive. And the only reason why I went with Dismiss this year because it was cheaper than Sedgehammer. I had a nut sedge problem last year, and the Dismiss was on sale. I tried it. Worked perfectly. I'll probably stay with it. The only other chemicals that I use for weed control now, I'll use a basic 3-way. It's either triplet, strike 3. I use Mecamine D, and I like the chemical formation of it. They're all basically the same except for the middle one. You have 2,4-D is the main ingredient, all of them. You have MCPP or MCPPA. The PA is what I look for. I want that phosphatic acid. I think it does a better job of burning the leaf tissue. And also, the last one is dicamba. I love dicamba, just a broader mix. And those are the 3. You can use MCPP. It's okay. I mean, it's okay. I just like the PA better. The PP works, but the PA works better. I just feel it works better. That phosphatic gives that little bit more of a tissue burn, really opens that product up to get that product in there. I like the MCPA. And that's the only thing I use. That's the only thing I use as far as, weed control. Now, if I have a problematic lawn, I will then go ahead and use an ester. I'm not going to say a brand. There's Speed Zone. There's all kinds of zones. The ester product, I've had it forever. I barely use it. It's probably way out of date, but it still works. I use probably an ester maybe once a year or once every other year. When I have a problematic lawn that the weeds are just being stubborn, I will then go up to an ester product that has ester in it, and that really takes care of the weeds. But it's so expensive. You're throwing money out the window in your lawn application if you let them sell you all this stuff. I mean, it's just the more money you spend on your chemicals and your fertilizer, the less you're going to make. So if you have a $50 lawn, you're using some really high-end chemicals that got 200 for 2.5 gallons. It's just ridiculous what these salesmen do to you. Go in there, know what you want. You can use a basic 3-way product, Strike 3, Let's Go 3-way, Triplet, Mecamine D. There's a whole bunch of them. Just make sure the 2,4-D is up there. Make sure the 2,4-D is up there. Make sure it has a good selection realm. I like to see dicamba. You can use MCPP or MCPA. If you're just using a 2,4-D product, it's okay, but I don't think you're going to get a good selection. It's a 2,4-D is the main ingredient in all of them, but there's some that just have 2,4-D in it. And I don't think you're going to take out, it's going to be hard to take out, Black Medic and Oxalis, which is 2,4-D. You really need some MCPA or MCPP to take it out. And even then, you might even need an ester. If it's a real bad problem, you might have to go all the way up to an ester to really get the solid kill. And so those are my chemicals. I use an ester maybe once a year if it's a bad weed control problem. My main thing for weeds is Mecamine D, 2,4-D, MCPA, and dicamba is the mix that I like to see in that. For crabgrass is Drive. For nut sedge, you can go Sedgehammer, Dismiss, whichever's cheaper. I didn't have any issues with Dismiss. I never had issues with Sedgehammer either. Sedgehammer whack, it got it. Dismiss did the same thing. So, but if you want to learn more about all that, go to the Grass Factor, because I don't care. I want to mix it up right, spray it, watch it die. How it works, don't care. Do I know how it works? Yeah, I do. After you've been in the business a long time, you've sat through enough classes, you get it. But the basic side for me is just actually getting the chemicals, make sure they're quality chemicals, and using them, and you're getting good results. Make it very simple for yourself. If you start getting into all these, this does this, and this breaks it down like this, and you might want to use it, you're going to pull your hair out, and you're not going to have time to actually do what makes you money. What you want to do is get the fertilizer, put the fertilizer down, kill the weeds, make the grass green, no dandelions, get rid of any problematic weed, and then move on your way. Just get paid. That's what we're talking about, is getting paid. Now, having said about the chemical side, this is where we come into the round 2 aspect of it. Round 2 for me starts May 1st. If you do not get my preventative package, my grub control and chinch bug preventative, what I will do is I'll put a basic product, 25-310 or 25-010 or 25 something, and it'll be a 50% slow release starting May to June 1st. I will take care of all those customers that do not get the grub package. Now, if you get the grub package, I will start that June 1st. I want to be wrapped up by July 4th. I want to be done with round 2 by July 4th. So, starting in June, now 50% slow release in all my products. I do not want nitrogen hitting that lawn and making it grow in the spring. And listen, photosynthesis is going to take place in the spring whether you push nitrogen or not. It's going to happen. The only thing you're going to do is you're going to push a lot of growth, and what's going to happen is you're going to hurt the lawn, and then by June 1st, you're going to have diseases. The weather's going to change. It's going to be hot, humid, and that lawn is just going to get diseased out because you pushed so much nitrogen and you made the lawn grow. Now you're cutting its stem instead of the green blade, and every time you cut it, it's going to have that grayish look. It's not going to look as good. And no matter how sharp your blades are, when you cut the stem of a grass, it's going to leave it chewed. Use a 50% slow release. Lower the nitrogen rate down in the springtime. Pick it back up. You listen, this is the truth. You only need 3 to 4 pounds of nitrogen a year on your lawn. The rain is going to give you some automatically. So if you're pushing 4, 5, 6 pounds of nitrogen a year, you're doing more harm than good. Oh, I got the greenest lawn in the world, but you cut it every 8 hours. That's the worst thing you can do. Make sure it's a healthy green lawn. That's what I sell. I don't push heavy nitrogen. I don't care if it's not 5 shades darker. As long as it's green, there's no weeds in it, they don't care. That's what they hired you for. Now, my grub package is a little bit different. I start in June. I use Merit. I love Merit. I will say this, I'm getting breakthrough. Now it's been since the 90s, till now, the Merit is starting to not be as effective. It used to be about 85 to 90%. I'm seeing about 65 to 75% effectiveness. Meaning, what's happening is the grubs are getting used to this type of thing, and every year a new grub comes up. They build a tolerance to it, so there's going to have to be a new chemical. But I do put down a preventative. I prefer to put it down only because one year I had a bad grub outbreak, and some of the customers did not want to pay the price for a curative product. Curative product like Dialox, expensive chemical. It's like twice as much as a regular application, and they were flipping out. And, how can we? Well, we can go to the preventative package, which is Merit and fertilizer in one bag. And you're on the lawn. It's very easy to put. Very good product. Greens the lawn up. I use a 50% slow release there too. And that's the end of it. That's round 2. Want to be done by July 4th. Have any questions that are non-scientific related? What did I say? Scientific related. Go to the Grass Factor. If you have any questions about anything in this video, this is packed full of nutrients. Like if you ate this video, it's like, boom! You might have to watch it like 5, 6 times because it's like your head will explode all the information that you just learned. And think about it. This is all free information. This is stuff that I never had when I started. I'm so glad I'm able to share some of this with you guys. Guys, have a great one. That's round 2. That's some chemicals that I use. I just taught you how to get your applicator's license in Pennsylvania, and I gave you a shout out for a great channel. Have a good one.